Everyone, I'm Sam Rathling. For those of you that have never been with me before, I'm a LinkedIn expert, social selling strategist. I run these sessions purely out of, giving and helping people. I know a lot of people are struggling right now, and I know a lot, so I thought I'd just share it with the world. So welcome, and let's get started. So company pages. First off, type yes in the chat box if you have a company page. Just want to get a sense of the audience as to see those of you that have it. Okay, good. All right, perfect. So most of you, it looks like, that are on with me live have a company page. So I'm going to dive into how to set one up, how to update it. There's been quite a few changes to company pages over the last 6 months. And if you haven't looked at yours for a while, you might not even realize that there are some new features that you didn't know existed. Some of you want to have one. So I see you don't have one, but you want to set one up. Perfect. So I'll show you first how to go create one if you don't have one, and then we'll dive into our own company page for the Pipeline 44 group. Ours isn't massive. We've only really started giving it some attention recently. So we're just over 1,100 followers, something like that. But obviously we are looking to grow that, and we have been growing and putting some focus on ours over the last couple of months, which is working. So right, let's jump in. So I'm going to share screen over here. So for those of you that are on the line or watching on the YouTube channel that don't have a company page, the way that you go to create one is up here in the top right hand corner where it says for business, and there's that little grid of 9 squares. You can click on that, and at the bottom it says create a company page, and there's a plus button there. So that's where you're going to go if you don't have a company page. Once you go in there, obviously it's going to ask you for details, etc. But I'm going to show you inside our company page and go and edit all the different sections. So whether you're starting one new or whether you have one already, I'm going to focus in on those areas. So that's where you go if you don't have one. Now, just to say, if you are setting up a company page, LinkedIn wants to know that you actually work for that company. So if at the minute you have like a Gmail address or something, an email address that doesn't match your domain name, you're going to struggle to set a company page up. So you do need to make sure that your email address reflects the company page and the website domain so that LinkedIn knows you're an official representative of the company. Otherwise, anybody could set up a company page for anybody's business, which we wouldn't want. So just a little one to say there. Okay, so now, how to get to your company page. There's a couple of different places you can go. There's one on the left-hand side. You can see their Pipeline 44 group is here. And you can also click on me up here. I am an admin on 3 different company pages. So one for the Rotary Club of Derby. I have my own Social Selling with Sam page, and then we've got Pipeline 44 group, which is the one I'm going to focus on. Now, I am a super admin, and there are a few different admin roles that you can set up. So if you do have a larger organization and it's not just you looking after the page, you can set up people as content creators, as people that can see the analytics, as super admins, etc. So there are moderators, different levels of administrators. So if you do own a company page and you have people in the business that you want as employees to manage that page, but you don't want them to control everything about the page, then you can set up different ways that way. So I'm going to start first, because there's a lot on the screen. I'm going to start first with editing the page itself. So that's the information that LinkedIn provides you in terms of how you can set up your company page. So whether you're setting up a page from scratch or whether you're editing an existing page, that's where you're going to go. So I'm going to head over there. So the first thing is, you'll see on the left-hand side, there are quite a few different features. And the first one here is the I'll go up, start at the top, right? So page info. So it says update basic information to increase page discovery. So your company page can get found, and just like personal profiles, a company profile is very keyword searchable. So you do need to make sure you're setting yourself up from an SEO perspective to get found if someone goes searching for particular keywords that you provide as your business. So here you've got the opportunity to upload a logo for the company page. That's the bit that sits here in the company page. Give your company page a name. You have up to 100 characters in there, and you can choose what the URL link is to your company page. So linkedin.com/company, then there will be / whatever your company name is in there. So your tagline, that's up to 120 characters. So again, think about the keywords, think about what you want to say in there, and I'm going to actually just, build sales pipeline. I'm just looking there, and I redid ours last night, and I'm like, oh, I've got 1 character left. I would rather that says building sales pipeline, but I'm going to lose characters. So that's your tagline in there. And then you've got the option to manage information in other language, but most of you are not going to do that. Now, buttons, this is quite a new feature of company pages. And you've got the option now to have up to 5 options when somebody goes to your website. There's a button that they can click. So you can either have a contact us page, you can click on learn more, and that allows you to change where that takes people. You can have a straight register, a sign up, or a visit website. So you can see I've got mine set up to learn more, and it directly goes to booking a meeting with us. We currently don't have a website actually at the moment, and we haven't had one for 4 years because all of our business comes through LinkedIn and social selling, because we walk our talk. But if I had a website, I could choose visit website and it would send people there. I've got the sign up option, etc. So I have mine set to learn more, and you can choose whether that button is on or off. This is what it then looks like down here. So when someone visits your company page, you'll see the logo, the name of the page, the tagline that you set up, the option to follow the page, and then you've got that learn more button. But obviously if you chose visit website, for example, it would say visit website here. So that's what the button does. It allows you to drive people away from your company page. Now you've got an about section for the company page, and the first one of those is called the overview. So this is, first off, you've got up to 2,000 characters for your description of your company page. Now, I would recommend using as much of that as possible and making sure that you've got all of those keywords in there as well. So I've got our mission at the top there, and you can see, I scroll down and it talks about the benefits of working with us, etc. And a range of products and services that we offer, how to get in touch with us, etc. So that's what I've got up there, but mine is packed, or ours is packed full of keywords. So make sure that your description actually matches what you do currently. If you haven't checked your company page for a while, you might want to go visit that, or if it just has a couple of lines on it, you want to make sure that you're spending some time on your about section. As with personal profiles, probably best to edit that and do that on a Word document. Check your character count and then come in and copy and paste it, because you can see there the box isn't particularly big to see that. You've then got a website URL. So again, ours is heading people to a landing page because we don't have the website. I'd rather not click, we don't have a website. We do have landing pages. You can choose the industry. Now, LinkedIn last year made a complete update to the industry categories. So there are now over 420 industries that you can select from. There were, I think, about 130, something like that before. So you might find that there's an industry category that you are not aware of that your company would fit better in than the one that you're listed at the moment. So make sure your industry is correct. Then you've got the company size. How many employees do you have? What type of business are you? So you can choose from here: privately held, self-employed, etc. Phone number, and then the year you were founded. Now, the next one is quite important for getting your page found. So specialities, you can have up to 20 of these, and these are obviously very keyword searchable. So if somebody goes looking in the search bar for a company that does social selling, for example, or as a LinkedIn training or something like that, I want my page to be coming up in those search results, as would you for whatever it is that you do. So you want to make sure that you've got the correct specialities and that you're using all 20 of them. So you can see here, I've got the option to add a speciality, and you can literally just type free in there. So I could, I've got majority of mine, but if I wanted to just do that, I'm not sure if I've got any left. There we go. I've got, I think I've used all mine up now. So I've just gone Sales Navigator, Sales Nav. If I wanted to remove any, I could do that too. So I can just click on save, and those changes are saved. Now, if you do have, if you're here from a larger organization and you have either a LinkedIn careers page or a LinkedIn recruiter subscription, you have the option to update this talent page in terms of how you let people express interest in working for your business. But majority of the people on these calls are kind of smaller businesses. But if you do have that, that's what that's about. Same thing with the workplace module. If you are looking for talent, if you're hiring, things like that, you can put that to on, and you're allowed to talk about whether or not you, the type of workplace policies that you have, whether people work on, in person, on off-site, remote, etc. So that's what those are about. There are also commitments related to employees. So obviously company pages are heavily related to hiring and talent and things like that. So you've got that there. And then finally, locations. So that's our UK headquarters. And the next one, though, is a new feature. So did you know that your company page can collect leads for you? This is new. So it was probably introduced sometime, I think, in the last 6 months. And you've got the option to collect leads directly from your LinkedIn page. Now, you've got the ability to switch that to on or off, and you do have to agree to LinkedIn's page terms, but you've got a call to action in there for people to click. One of them is, I want to contact sales. One of them is, I want to request a free demo, start free trial, or get started. Now, for me, the CTAs are very corporate focused. However, you can choose one of them and allow yourself to actually collect leads from your page. Now, you do have to have a privacy policy in there in order to be able to have the ability to collect leads on your page. And you can see here, I'm using this as a lead magnet to drive our email list. So you'll see here that I've got a headline that says free 100 content ideas, download now. So this is the same link that we use in our teams profiles, on their personal profiles, to drive our list as well. And you can see there, I've got the ability to put the headline in there, and I've got the copy underneath, which is only 200 characters, but you have to share what to expect after they submit a form. So here, once you submit your details, we'll email you a PDF completely free, packed full of 100 content ideas for you and your team to use. This will be sent directly to the email that you provide. So it's just a simple thing saying, here's what's going to happen once you complete a lead gen form. You can see here the preview, that's what it's going to look like on the company page. But if you do not have a lead gen page set up on your company page, you are missing out on opportunities. What it does then is, I'll show you in a moment, you actually get to download an Excel spreadsheet report with all the people, names, job titles, etc., that have actually downloaded the form. So you are able to see who has gone to your company page and interacted with it. So it's a great new feature. I really like it. A couple of other ones on the page setup. First off, you've got your hashtags. So what 3 hashtags are topics that matter to your page? So you can see here, we've got Sales Navigator, LinkedIn Marketing, and Social Selling. So what that will do is, if there is a post or a trending post that LinkedIn wants the page to see, it will say, hey, there's a post over here about this topic. Do you want to contribute? So it will allow you to get alerted about particular trending topics. And finally, featured LinkedIn groups. This group is an older group, but we do have a community around the Social Selling Academy, which has now got 300 plus members in it, but we've moved it across to Slack because we find it easier to manage it in Slack, but we do have an older group there. So I've just kept it up there so people know about the Social Selling Academy. So that's all of the different areas of the company page that you can then set up. You can share changes. I'm not going to share that onto the newsfeed. But that is how you then kind of set up and edit the page. Now, a few other features, I'm just going to walk you around the outside of this. So on the bottom here, you can see your company page has the ability to set up an event. So just as you have the ability to create a LinkedIn event, so does a company page. So if you ever want to run and promote a LinkedIn event, I do recommend at the minute that you're doing that on your personal profile rather than the page. But if you wanted to set up an event and then pay to boost that event, you're better off doing it on your company page. So if you do want to put some money behind sponsoring and promoting an event out into the newsfeed, that's where you can do that from your company page. Another one, you're probably all familiar with newsletters. I did a session on newsletters a couple of weeks ago. It's up on my YouTube channel if you didn't catch it. But a company page can now have a newsletter too. So you are allowed to create a newsletter and it will get pushed out to your followers. Now, I'm holding off doing that till we've raised our followers to about 5,000 plus. I want our newsletter to go out when we've got a much bigger following. We're currently sitting at just over 1,100. So once we hit 5,000, we'll then start publishing a newsletter from the page. At the minute, I publish a newsletter from my personal profile, which goes out to about 8,000 subscribers. But your company page can also have a newsletter. So if you prefer to send a newsletter from your business rather than you personally, that's how you can do that. Now, growing your followers, you've got a few options here. One way to grow your followers is obviously to interact in the newsfeed, to tag your company page, to like and comment, etc., and have your company page act as if it were a LinkedIn member. But the other way to grow your followers is actually to invite your connections. Every single calendar month, you have up to 250 credits available to actually invite people to follow your page. So I can hit invite connections. And I can either search by name or I can search by location. So if I just wanted to see United Kingdom, it shows me all of my first degree connections, and I can literally click, 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 and I can go down here and I can add these people and then literally invite. So that's how you can do that. You can actually filter by location, by current company, so if I've just started working with a big corporate, for example, I might go to current company and invite all of the people that I'm working with and training to follow the page, for example. You've also got industry. So again, if you want to target your followers at a particular industry, you could say, well, show me all the people that are in IT, for example, and it's going to show me, and I might just take that, reset that one. It's not going to let me do that, but let's say I've got UK IT companies. I've got the option then to invite those people. So they will get a notification. Hang on a second. Yes, I do want to discard that. Perfect. They will get a notification up here that says, Sam Rathling has invited you to follow this particular page. So that's one of the ways that you can grow one of the ways that you can do that. So I can see a few questions coming through. So if you do have them, pop them into the Q&A. I'll come to them at the end. It can be about what I'm sharing now, or it can be about something completely unrelated, hopefully about LinkedIn and social selling. So that's how you can grow your followers over there. So now, obviously, your company page can post. You can start a post here. It can create content just like you would do on your newsfeed, or it can share and repost and act as a member on the newsfeed. So in exactly the same way as how you would create a piece of content from you personally, your company page can do that. And it gives you all the same features. Everything I talk about when it comes to content and content creation still applies as a company page. But if you want to get more visibility on your posts, you want to ideally, again, still drive engagement, likes, comments. If you're here from a bigger company, rather than encouraging your employees to repost it, you're better off encouraging them to like and comment on a page, etc. So you can see down here, you've got page posts, following hashtags, employee posts, and let me have a look here. So these are posts that the page has recently shared. You've got the following. So my company page follows me. You've got hashtags over here. So a hashtag your page follows is included in this post. And then I can see my employee posts as well. So all of the posts that have been shared by our team are in there. And if I'm running ads, you'll find that in there too. So that's that side of things. Now, I'm going to just remove that page, and I'm going to talk about one of my favorite company pages, and I'll come back in and go in there in a second. For me right now, the company page that is killing it in terms of engagement and funny and humorous and just being a real personality is Monzo Bank. So if you're not following Monzo Bank, I highly recommend that you go follow Monzo Bank, not just for the posts that they put out, but how they interact on the newsfeed is insanely brilliant. So their social media team need a big shout out or a pay rise, because they're doing an amazing job. And I want you to be aware of other company pages that are doing a phenomenal job. So let me go across to back into the company page. Just conscious of time, so I'm going to go across to these other areas here. So I'm going to look first at the content side of things. So you might have content that you want to recommend to employees, but most of you guys on here are not working with large organizations. And then the analytics, it allows you to look at visitors, followers, leads, content, competitors, which is quite a useful area. And if you have a larger company, employee advocacy. So first thing is you can look at your visitor stats. So you can see how many page views you've had, where they've come from, whether it was desktop or mobile. And you can also see the visitor demographics. So that allows you to see how you're doing. This is just a 30-day snippet, but you can choose the last year, the last 90 days, 30 days, 15 days. You can export these reports as well. You can then look at your followers, and you can even see who your followers are. So I can see here that I've got 1, 2 people, 3 people, 4 people who follow my page, but are second degree connections. So they've recently followed Pipeline 44, but I'm personally not connected to them. So I do go through the followers, I do connect with them, and I say, thank you so much for following the Pipeline 44 group page. I thought it would be also useful for us to connect to. So again, it's an area where you can pick up some easy win, low hanging fruit, new connections, because they've obviously got an interest in your particular company. You can see their location, the size of company, the seniority of your followers, things like that. So I can see here I've got 426 are senior, 50 of them are C-suite, etc. So, you know, there's good data in there about your followers. And then those leads that were generated from the company page, you can see there, you can download that report. And if you go to competitors, I quite like this one, you can see how your company is performing against other companies that are in your particular space. So you can see here, we're sitting at the top with most new followers. We don't have the biggest following. These guys have been doing this for a lot longer than us over in the States, but I like to keep an eye on their company page action. And you can see here, it's possible to see how their content is performing against yours, trending competitor posts, things like that. So there is quite a lot of data in there you might not realize exists. And then inside there, if you do have a larger organization, you can see if you've recommended a post to all the employees, are they actually doing anything with it? Now, the final one over here is the activity, and then I'll go into Q&A. You can see here, I've got people that have mentioned your company in an update. So for example, Alex and Chris Locke, they're clients of ours, they've actually posted on the newsfeed. I can come across to their post and I can actually see that they've put a big thank you to Pipeline 44 Group, who gave us great advice. And I can come over here and I can react and interact with this post with the client. And I haven't actually done this yet, so I thought I'd save this one for today because I saw that they had we appreciate the shout out. Look forward to the next event. So I've gone in there and interacted. I can see here people have reacted. We've got 5 new visitors. Elise, who's one of our employees, she's mentioned the company in an update. So again, if I haven't already gone over there, I think we've already interacted with this one. So I did that one the other day. So that is how you can get visibility for your company on the newsfeed, is by keeping an eye on this and actually liking, commenting as the company page. In fact, pretty much every post that I put out, once I've posted, after a certain amount of time, I'll go back over to my post and I will actually like and comment on the post as my company page once the post has had some traction. So if the post has had 50 comments and I don't know, a few hundred reactions, I'm going to go in as my company page and like and comment after a lot of interaction has happened on my post. That means a lot more eyeballs go on to Pipeline 44. So it allows you to basically see, you know, allows your company page to get visibility from your connections. So I'm just conscious of time. I'm just going to stop sharing over here and I'm going to go to questions because we've got about 5 minutes left. So first off, type yes in the chat box if you found that helpful and you learned something new. Okay, good. Very helpful. Okay, good. Right. So a few questions. Okay, good. David, you said analytics, sales nav needed. No, the analytics come regardless of membership level. So you'll get all those analytics on your company page. Anonymous attendee, I don't know who asked this. Can you send us, show us the lead gen form, how it looks on the page? Yeah, absolutely. So what I'll do is I'll go over to my LinkedIn and I'll show you what our company page looks like as if I was a member. So you'll see at the top here, you've got view as a member. So this is how other people see the page. So you can see at the top here, you've got the trending co-work content. And then on the home page, which is where most people go, you've got the about section, which we've shared earlier, and then the 300 content ideas download now, and community hashtags. So that's how the page looks, but it will sit literally just below your about section. So once you've set it up, that's how you get it set. And that's what it looks like. Michelle, in the button section, you've asked, or stop share now. You've asked in the button section selection for sign up, where does that send people over to? Does it automatically add to a mailing list? So you can decide where you send people. So if it is a sign up, you can choose, like, for example, if it's a sign up page for an event, there's a sign up page for getting onto a newsletter, for example. So you just go in there and then you're directing where that actually goes to, essentially. Okay. Perfect. Do I need super admin rights to access the features? Some of the features, yes, but not all of them. So Gareth, if you don't, like if you own the company page, you'll automatically be super admin, but you may need to have super admin for certain changes. So for example, like making like big changes and edits to different sections, you'd need to be a super admin for that. You should still be able to see analytics if you're not a super admin, for example. You should also be able to create content and post and engage as the post, as the company page, if you are not a super admin, for example. So you just have to look at the different levels and see which one gives you what you need, and speak to whoever in the company if you don't have super admin rights, if you do want to make some of those changes. But there are limitations with the different levels. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. Steve, you've asked a non-related question, which is absolutely fine. Can you talk about champion topics, passions? I haven't done this before on LinkedIn. Will it seem weird to start now? My topics could be retro gigs, dancing, cancer research, eco hospices, or maybe single dads. I'm not sure, Lorraine. Are you talking in relation to personal profile, Steve? I'm assuming you are. I'm assuming that you're talking about that rather than posting about that on the company page. But absolutely, like if you've not done your posting and created content that's about your passions, things that you champion, things outside, absolutely, like go for it. It's important that people see all sides of you. Now, obviously, there have been algorithm changes in the last couple of weeks, which I'm sure you've seen because they're all over the newsfeed. But LinkedIn is now rewarding knowledge, expertise, opinion, thoughts, etc., higher than the viral type of posts or the more personal posts. But having said that, even since the changes happened, I championed sobriety, did a post on Friday about sobriety. It's about to cross 50,000 impressions. It has had almost 1,000 reactions. It's had over 200 comments. However, I did put advice and opinion into that post, as well as it being a personal post. So I think as long as you are combining your personal post, your champion kind of issues, etc., along with knowledge, expertise, etc., then you should be fine still to post those kinds of posts. So it's not saying don't post them. It's just saying the algorithm is going to reward more the posts that those kind of things. Yeah, I'm actually going to do a session on it, probably next week or the one after. I'm actually doing that session today for our Academy members because I want them to get that first, because obviously there are paying clients. So I'm going to do a deep dive on that for our Social Selling Academy today at 2 o'clock. But obviously for the free sessions, I'm not going to go into everything, but I will give you some information on kind of the changes, the algorithm issues, etc. I'll probably save that one for next week, David. So yeah. So I didn't want to do that on a free YouTube session for the whole world. I want to give that to our clients first, obviously. So, but yeah, absolutely. But keep an eye on that. There is a lot going on with the algorithm at the moment, but there is, you know, literally, if you just Google like LinkedIn algorithm update, there's lots of articles and things like that that will help you to get the information about that. But I will do a session on it in terms of what are the LinkedIn trends at the minute, what to watch out for, and the LinkedIn algorithm update. So obviously no one's got the secret code to the algorithm, but just be aware that knowledge, expertise, and matching content to what your core topic of expertise is being more favored than the kind of viral posts. Engagement pods are being squashed, which is great news for everybody. And meaningful comments underneath posts are going to give your post a lot more traction too. So if people are not just sharing like great post or congratulations, like if they're actually putting, you know, 20+ words in a comment underneath, that will be classed as a meaningful comment. You're no longer penalized for commenting on your own post first either. So that's a good thing to be aware of. And you want to be treating comments like content. So even under your own posts and other people's posts, like you want to be paying attention to how much time you're giving the comments that you are using. Will I be covering polls? I'm always looking for ideas about what you want me to cover. So I'm more than happy to cover a session on polls, and feel free to drop me a direct message if you're like, hey, Sam, can you do a session on this? Because I'm always looking to make sure that these are useful to you. So happy to do a session on polls. Absolutely. There are 13 different post types. I've done one on LinkedIn newsletters. More than happy to do one on polls for sure. So it's 1 minute past the hour. Thank you so much for being here. I'd like you to share one action you're going to take from today's session in the chat box for me, because I want you to take this information, actually do something with it. So if you don't take action, then it's not worth you spending half an hour with me. So following Monzo, I love it. Brilliant. They're so brilliant. I absolutely love their comments. Their comments just make me laugh all the time, and their posts are great. So yeah, setting up your competitors. I think that's a really good one, right? So keeping an eye, and it's not to spy, it's just to kind of get a gauge as to where you are, right? It's just, for me, it's about just seeing where are we performing against other people, etc. Leads, benchmarking, watching the competition. Love it. Nice, 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 nice. Good. Okay, everyone. Well, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you all absolutely for being here. I love doing these sessions. I'm Sam Rattling, LinkedIn expert and social selling strategist. And remember, if you're not LinkedIn, you're totally linked out.